Okay, I've got this set on wide angle view so I can keep the camera fairly steady. This is the almost finished Murphy bookcase thing. The two fixed pieces are on each side. I'm going to zoom in and show you. All right, so this is zoomed in. Notice that I've screwed the fixed Murphy bookcase. You can see it right there. I had to move this light switch over. The light switch was behind there, so I moved that light switch over. This receptacle couldn't be moved. There was no place else to put it, so I just pulled it out and cut a hole in the plywood in there. So each fixed cabinet is secured with one large bolt, another large bolt through the bottom, and there's another one somewhere, I forget. But anyway, so that one's fixed, and it's screwed to this top ledger. That ledger is a laminated plate of two pieces of plywood and 2x4 all glued up together. And you're not seeing the finished wood. All this stuff you're seeing now is going to be covered with oak and stained that way. The inside will be stained as well. But so there'll be a fluted door, fluted mullion or style or whatever you call it that spans these two things. And there'll be another one fluted here. There'll be a piece of oak down this side to cover that gap against the wall. Also same thing on this other side right here. And then across the top will be the molding for that, and then across the bottom there'll be floor molding for that. Now the floor molding is going to be held about 3/4 of an inch off the floor. That's to make room for a rug that Bethany may want to put in here. She's going to be having a chair over here in this corner, a reading chair, and so she'll have her books on her bookcase and all that kind of stuff. This other fixed cabinet is mounted at the bottom right here, and up in this corner right there, and also in this corner right here. So 3 points of contact on all three of them will secure this thing, and I've got it shimmed up with shims to keep it perfectly plumb and level, at least as plumb and level as it can be. It's not a very tall bookcase, but it's got a little. I mean, I'm standing. This is arm height for me, so my head is definitely above this because I'm looking down on this piece of wood. That's just the old latch from the old door that was in there. And let me show you the door opening now. So we're going to back out. Here is the wide angle view. I'm going to grab the door, and no squeaking, no nothing. By the way, look at the clearance. I mean, it just barely clears, doesn't touch. And of course it clears the floor. It'll go over that rug, and you can see that very thin clearance at the top right there. And so this door actually opens up all the way to about, even further. Opens up all the way to there. And so looking down on it, you can see how much it opens up. It won't be that much once I get the molding put on there. It'll probably have about that much that it'll need. But you can see the parts of the hinge right here. I'm going to go to normal view on this. And so you can see the hinge that goes in there, and the pin for the hinge goes up into this. That's what keeps it from falling over. The same, the hinge part on the bottom that it rests on is mounted to this bottom cabinet, which is just like the header in that it's got a 2x4 sandwich between two pieces of plywood all glued together and so forth. And so that rides on a ball bearing. There's a shaft that the post sits down in, and that's a piece of oak that I've got mounted to the floor so I could get it up off the floor 3/4 of an inch. And so that's the doorway. And inside here, let me get one of these lights here. So coming inside, this is how and then you can see inside I've got some this used to be a regular door, so I've taken off all the things that's not necessary, and I've got some wood, 1/8" plywood for where the crown molding used to, where the molding on the door used to be, and so that's all there to cover up the gap between the door frame and the stud walls and all that kind of stuff. But here is inside the this secret getaway. I'm having to bend down so you can see. They've got some luggage in here and things like that. But basically, it's going to be the kids' room. They'll be able to open this door, go in there and hide away. There'll be throw pillows for each kid to sit in and read. And part of these bookshelves will hold children's books that they can look through and read, and hope them give them an interest in reading. That's what Bethany's love was. I used to read Chronicles of Narnia and see a lot of C.S. Lewis books to her when she was a little girl, and she fell in love with it and actually majored in English in college as a result of that. And anyway, so this is getting there. This is the frame. We lacked the stain on the plywood. And this little bump right here bumps up against that back, so that it is there. So obviously I had to have that much room on either side in order to be able to avoid any interference between those two. So let me see if I can explain this here. I'm going to put the light back on the shelf here. All right, here we go. So the mullion that goes here, the fluting that goes here, will be mounted to the fixed cabinet, so that when you open the door, it swings away from that fixed piece right there. And that fixed piece will stay there, and then this bumps up against it. And same thing on the other side, just the opposite. It'll be mounted to the moving door on this side, and it will overlap with this piece of plywood. So you won't see the edges of the plywood, you'll just see the fluting. And when we open this, that comes with it. The fluting comes with it and away from that door. And I've got to do special things right here and also at the bottom, so that you can kind of do the same thing, but it's going to be a mitered cut. It won't be 45 degree, but it'll be some degree where they will come together. Hey folks, I had some camera trouble trying to prop up my iPhone, but anyway, it's I got it worked out, and all I'm trying to show you is using my fingers how the boards are going to overlap together, the horizontal boards going across the top and the bottom. All right, so you see one finger will act as one board, another finger will act as the other, and so this, where my fingernail is touching, that's the 40, that's the angle of miter. So one board will come back, and when it hits flush with the other board, it'll make it more seamless. You'll still be able to see a crack, but it won't be a gap. The boards are actually going to touch each other. All right, folks, that's it for the progress report on this Murphy bookcase. It took me 3 weeks to get this done. Maybe a couple of those days were building the shop up in the garage, having transferred all my tools here. But anyway, it was just a lot of work, hauling things back up and down the stairs, fitting them and all that kind of stuff. I ended up having to change the way the door opens. I had to have it opening from the right side to the left side as opposed to the left side to the right side, and so kind of reverse some things, and I had to do some additional SketchUp drawings. But anyway, what's left is obviously to add all the oak to cover up all that raw wood there, and put the stiles in with the fluting, and build the shells, and put oak inserts on the front of those shells so you won't see the plywood edges, and drill holes for the shelf pins and all that kind of stuff, and do the staining, and then the
wipe on poly as a finish for these things. And then finally, to put in some sort of latch that will be a hidden book. It'll be a fake book on the shelf, and you'll be able to tilt the book back, and it'll release the latch and open the door. So the kids will love that, and it'll keep it secure. And the latch mounts on the back of the door, so if the cable ever breaks for any reason, the boys will still be able to get out. They won't be locked in. They'll still be able to get out by just pulling on the bottom of the latch, and it'll open up from the inside. All right, so that's it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.